Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy K-Cross here, back with another video. Hope you guys don't mind all this shipment and shoot house gameplay. I really, it's like the only thing to play right now. Ready for the next season, because I'm getting a little bored with, the season. I'm pretty much got everything done, and, I mean, like, I'm just really excited to see if I think they're supposed to add terminal. I don't know if they confirmed that, but from what I heard, I think someone said they're adding terminal almost for sure. And I don't know if that's confirmed or not, though. Also, I don't know if it's confirmed that we're actually getting the intervention, or if we're just gonna get, like, I don't know, freaking longbow or something. But I'm just ready for that. I apologize if you guys don't like the gameplay of shipment and shoot house. It's just like the only thing really interesting in Call of Duty right now. I feel like it's the best to watch. I'd love to play more gunfight 3v3 snipers only, but like the games go a little slow. It's hard to get gameplay on there because, you know, games take so long to start and stop, and people just kind of play the game slower. It's like playing Search. It's just slower than Search. It could be a lot of fun like Search. It's just harder to get those moments. You know, like I said, I'm still working on getting like a capturing device and stuff like that. So I'm using everything, like all my resources through an Xbox capturing system. So you can't really expect like to get game, like the fact that I've been able to get as good a gameplay as I have, like, and actually keep it like somewhat consistent is pretty impressive to me. Usually it'll be like it won't tell you it stopped recording or stuff like that. It's just really hard to get it down pat, and just basically it. So, you know, you guys see that one video? I don't know if it's like old or not, but it's this dude like landing a plane in London, and I'm probably putting it up right now, but like he freaking, I'll have to find it, unfortunately. I just realized that, but he freaking like deja vu's it in there, and like screw that. Like, you know, right now planes are not packed enough to be having to do all that. Like that was crazy. I would never. I've flown in like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think 8 planes in my life. I'm not scared of flying. I'm not scared of heights or anything. I'm not down with that. I am totally not with the shits on that. That's not cool at all. Oh, fuck that. But he's a good pilot. I mean, completely deja vu'd in there. I just don't see, like the fact that they flew into that airport anyway with those winds. I suppose you can't really control the weather, but like you gotta think, like, had he crashed that, had he not been able to do it, which I'm sure it was probably a pretty basic maneuver if you're a pilot. You know, the training for being a pilot is not easy. They don't let anybody in, like just anybody in, and he probably has done that before. It's probably a pretty simple maneuver, like I said. It's just the fact that, you know, that flight was not worth it. Like, there's probably like 30, 40, maybe at most 100 people on that plane. Like, you know, it wasn't packed. That's the crappy thing. It's like, if they had not saved that, it would have been, obviously it'd be better that less people would die, but like at the same time, it's like they never even had to really fight. I mean, they probably could have, you know, packed somebody in a plane the next day. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I just saw that video and I was like, oh god, that's not me. I'm not big on that. Like I said, I'm not scared of planes or anything. It's just, I'm not with that. I'm not with planes having to do things under certain circumstances that aren't normal. And that is definitely not, I don't think that's a normal circumstance. Like I said, you just freaking Tokyo drifted it into that airport. And I mean, props to him though. It was good stuff. He definitely beat the weather. He's a pretty good pilot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think my opinion matters too much to him though, because like I said, you know, I'm not professional or anything. I don't know how to fly. I can barely fly a kite. I can barely fly in a video game. I can't even swim, so that'd be like me saying, yeah, Michael Phelps is a pretty good swimmer. It doesn't really justify anything. I don't think Michael Phelps is gonna, you know, be like, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't think he's gonna be too in awe if I said that about him. I don't think he'd be starstruck or something. Obviously he wouldn't, but you know what I mean. I don't think he would take the compliment as heavy as if like a freaking shark told him he was a good swimmer or something. I don't know. I'm just talking at this point. But I just saw that video and I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. I'd like to talk about that. And yeah, it's crazy though. Like if you think about it, like the pilots in that, like, you think they could have done that in the 60s? I mean, I would doubt it. I just feel like, you know, how technology's gone so far and stuff. You know, obviously that was just like, I think it was just wind, like high wind, and that's what caused him to have to land. I don't know if he had to land like that, or if I don't know if that's just like, you know, how he landed because of like the wind was pushing him and he couldn't really land another way. But like, I just feel like in the 60s there was no way they could save him. Like, you ever watch those shows that are about plane crashes? All of them happen in the 70s, or like the 70s, 80s, you know, back when people could smoke on the plane. Like, that's when everything was going down. You ever notice that they always hit highways? Like, could you not hit anywhere else? Like, I get it, like, you're supposed to land like those things in like flat areas, but what happened to like landing them away from civilization? Like, they always land them on the highways, and that's kind of a big deal. Like, now every time because I live in an area where we have an airport like real close to us, and every time I see an airplane coming over the highway, coming down to the airport, I'm like, I'm watching that boy, because I've done seen those shows now. I know where he's gonna be going. If he ain't gonna be able to land that thing, I know exactly where he's gonna go. And I mean, there ain't nothing you could do whenever like, you get T-boned by a plane. There ain't no winning that one. You got like one of those big trucks. You know, you could hit a car and you're probably in a better position than they are. But when it comes to a plane, there ain't nothing on the road that's gonna save you then. Oh, that's just like one of my most irrational fears is just being on a plane that's going down. I don't know what it is about. Like, I'm not really in the fear of like I say it in a bad way, but like, I'm not super scared of the thought of dying in a plane crash. It's just I'm scared of the thought of having to go down in a plane. Like, that would suck. I think that's a fear that a lot of people have though. It's just that feeling of like going down in a plane, like knowing that it's over. However, if you think about it, it's like, would you prefer that way though? Wouldn't you like to know when you're gonna die? Like, not really know like 3 years ahead of time, but like know like at least 10 minutes in advance, so that way you could, like, you know, if you are religious, you know, you could say your final prayers, and if you aren't religious, you know, you could I don't know, find a religion, or, you know, tell someone you love them, something like that, you know, find something to do. I'm sure, like, I think I would rather want to know that I'm dying in 10 minutes than to not know at all, just because I'd like to, you know, like to be able to find comfort in the fact that I am happy with how I lived, and I'm content with my life, and I'd like to fix my relationship with God, because I am religious, you know, and I probably should say a prayer if I'm going to let him know that I, you know, still am cool with him and everything. And yeah, that's just me though, because at the same time it's like, but then again, if I, like, that's why I'm scared of that, you know, that I would be like going down in a plane, because that would be scary. I don't know, you know, it's weird. That's one of the few things that's just very irrational that I think everybody has a fear of. I'm a lot more scared of a plane going down than I am of a boat sinking. However, I should be more scared of a boat sinking because I can't swim, and drowning seems like a really bad way to go. And it's not that it's like not about the suffering that you gotta go through. It's just the fact that, you know, I don't know, something about that just messes with your mind. That's crazy though. I just hate, like, I hate the fact that I say I'm never gonna fly again. I don't mind flying. I actually really like, you know, it's fun, like on the takeoffs and landings and stuff. And like, I would fly again. It's just I don't want to fly. Like, I would say I'm not gonna fly again, but I always find myself in a position where I'm like, oh, I'd rather just fly. I'd rather fly than drive. And I always find myself in a position where I'm like, I kind of want to go somewhere out of the country or something like that. And then I'm like, whoa, you know, you don't really take boats too often, and flying is about the only way. It's just I don't know, it's very irrational. I'm just gonna say, like, screw it though. Like, I didn't know, you know, freaking Holland from Fast and Furious was piloting these planes now. I'm a lot more comfortable flying now. You know, as long as I got this guy. Or Sully or something, even though he retired, I know you can't get him. Maybe Tom Cruise, you know, you can Top Gun it. And I don't know, cause it's like, you ever get on the plane, like you see the pilot and you're like, oh boy, I'm actually giving this guy, like, my life is in his hands. My life is in this man's hands, and he's a goofball. Like, most time, you know, a lot of them look like, you know, kind of goofy, and not like a bad way either, but just, you know, kind of like, you know, geeky. I mean, you kind of have to be if you're in that profession. It's very, very, takes a lot of brain power. And, you know, it's just like, you look at someone, I don't think I could ever look at someone and say, my life is in this person's hands, and be content with it. Like, unless I'm looking at myself. Like, I don't really trust anybody with my life. And that's the thing, like, I think like, one time whenever I was real young, my mom dropped me in the pool when I was coming down a slide. And I didn't know how to swim yet, obviously, because I still don't know how, but she dropped me. I went all the way to the bottom of the deep end, like, not all the way, but pretty much all the way down to the bottom in a pretty deep part of the pool. And ever since then, I'm just like, no, I'm not trusting anybody, like, with my life. If I'm driving somewhere, you know, like, I pretty much only trust 3 people to drive. And if it's not me, you know, I just would not really want to go. That's the thing, I just got trust issues like that from just things in the past. You know, I've been in, like, some wrecks, and obviously my mom dropped me in the pool. I still accuse her of dramatizing me as a kid, and I'm still going to from here on out, even though I know, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just, I don't trust anybody to teach me to swim, because I don't feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel like it's a necessary skill for my position. Like, I don't put myself around water. I actually don't like being in the water, even if it's in the shallow end. And even if I knew how to swim, I don't think I'd like being in the water. It's just, like, something that I'm not a big fan of. You know, I just take a shower and that's about it. I don't really like being wet. And that's just the thing. It's like, I don't really enjoy the idea of swimming anyway. So it's like, learning it wouldn't be a big deal, because I don't really go around water. I don't go on the lake, you know, nothing like that. So I don't really need to know how to swim necessarily. But that's just the thing. It's like, I just don't know how to swim. It's one of my things. Disadvantage of me, I would say. It's one of those things I never learned to do. I don't know though, because whenever it comes to, like, planes, like, I don't know, like, I really like them. Like, I really like technology, and I really want to fly a plane, but at the same time, I'm like, no. Like, if you're a famous person, you don't get in a Porsche. That's just bad luck. Like, that's the thing. It's like a plane. Like, I feel like if you're aware of the fact that planes are, like, I don't know, because they're not dangerous. I feel like if you're not, like, if you got over that feeling of, oh, planes aren't dangerous, those are the people you always hear about dying. And that's why I'm like, I'm forever gonna be like, oh yeah, screw that, and, like, skeptical of flying. And I mean, I don't know, it's just unnatural, it's taboo. God didn't give us wings, you know, or, you know, if you don't believe in God, like, we weren't born with wings. We didn't develop wings. I don't know if we were, you know, something about the idea of flying is just so wrong. And that's just how I feel about it. That's not like it's just like an unnatural feeling. I like flying. Like I said, like, it's fun, but at the same time, I just hate it. I don't know what it is. It's real weird. Like, if someone was like, I'll take you on a ride in, like, a F-35 or whatever, you know, like a jet, I'd be like, oh yeah, for sure, obviously, that's one of my dreams. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm getting on a commercial airline, I'm like, screw this. Like, especially because it's like, if I'm gonna die, I don't want to die in a Boeing 747. Like, I would rather die, you know, in a freaking jet of some sort, maybe a freaking A10 Warthog or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a really, really irrational fear, but it's one that I have, and it's one that I probably will never get over. And I won't get over it just because of that fact I said, like, it's people that think that planes that are like safe are the ones that always die. It seems like, at least. I'm sure that they're not, but that's just how it seems. And helicopters, heck no, like, that's just a no-no. I've ridden one helicopter in my life. Unless it's an emergency, I'm not getting in a helicopter. I don't mess with them at all. Like, I feel like planes are safer than helicopters. No on helicopters. Big no. Never. But, like, if I was to ever reach a famous level, like, I'm still one of those skeptical people. Like, I'm not getting in a Porsche. Like, you know the curse. I'm not getting in no Porsche or anything like that. Like, it just seems like bad luck. So, like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't mess with it. Even though I don't believe in those things, I don't mess with them. I don't challenge them. I just let them be themselves. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll link the original video to that in the description. I hope you guys have a nice day. See you later.